What makes the best athletes so good? It is definitely not what most people, and maybe not even what you think. This discussion has been around for many years, but in my years as an athlete, I never found something that was actually helpful. My name is Gabriel Diano, and I'm the creator of Athlete Mentality. And today, we're going to discuss what makes the best athletes in the world so good. When we look at Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Cristiano Ronaldo, we can see a lot of things in common. Their hard work, commitment, focus, strategy, a strong body, and of course, all of those things are tremendously important for an athlete to achieve the highest level of performance. But what is the one factor, if there was one thing that makes them able to put all of the hard work in, and more than that, to transform all of the hard work into a great performance on the pitch or in the field? What would this thing be? Well, most people would say either talent or their mind. The definition of talent is innate ability, and a more scientific way to approach that would be to call it genetics. But we can easily refute this idea by looking at athletes that have better genetics than Kobe, Jordan, and Cristiano. And in fact, Kobe's innate abilities were not the best, and this is something that most people are not aware of.
And here I come playing, and I don't score 1 point the entire summer.
Really?
Not one.
How old were you?
11, 10, 11.
And you're playing against other 10, 11-year-olds?
Uh-huh.
And you didn't score once?
Not one.
Were you in the game?
I was in the game.
How did you not score?
Because I was terrible.
Really?
Yeah, that
At
happened.
10, 11 years old, you were that
Awful.
terrible.
Then we move into the second hypothesis, their mind. This idea is accepted by a lot of people, and I can include myself in this group. But when I hear people saying their minds, their mentality, I think that it's not so clear what it stands for and how much important that is. At the beginning of the video, I said that in my years as an athlete, I never found something that was actually helpful for me to work on my mind. And these are the two things I hope to accomplish in this video. Give you some strategies so you can actually start developing the most important characteristic of the best athletes in the world, and explain more in depth of how important the mind is for an athlete to achieve whatever he wants to achieve. Okay, so for explaining this concept, I will use the same model that I use with the athletes I work with. This is an oversimplified version, but it will help you to understand how much the mind is important. In a very short summary, their mind can be understood as the way they look at things, how they see themselves, how they see the competition, how they see their process of development, how they see their competitors, and everything else. So let's look at this quote from Michael Jordan. And although it's just a small piece of it, let's assume that this is his mindset. This is the way he looks at things.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
And if you take this perspective, we can see that for Michael Jordan, failure is just a stepping stone for success. And whenever some situation close to that happens, Michael will interpret failure as a step to success.
Don't be afraid to try. The worst thing that can happen is it doesn't pan out the way that you envision it. But at least you know that by giving it a shot.
So the reason why Michael Jordan succeeded is because he has several of those strong beliefs. He doesn't see failure as a reason for him to stop practicing or to stop playing, and several other beliefs that makes him tremendously confident to compete. Not being afraid to make mistakes, focus on what's happening, and the best, being confident in his abilities.
Have you ever gone on the court and been afraid?
No, I've never been afraid. I mean, obviously you're nervous, but afraid means you're not confident in your skills. I have total confidence in my skills, so I'm not afraid.
Now let's look at another Michael Jordan, a Michael Jordan that has the belief of, I can't fail. If I fail, I won't succeed. When we look at this belief, this athlete will have several consequences. And this approach could actually make a lot of sense when we have a naive approach to sports. And in fact, a lot of athletes have this belief. Every time this athlete makes a mistake or loses a game, he starts thinking things like that. I can't fail. I won't succeed. And the more this happens, the more it starts making sense to this athlete. And this will not only make him to not feel confident, but also decrease his motivation with the process. The more this happens, the more this athlete will fear making mistakes, the more he will feel anxious to compete, and in summary, his performance will never be as good as it could. So, we can see how important the right beliefs are. These beliefs dictate your life. Your beliefs controls your motivation with the process. Your motivation with the process controls your performance. Your performance would dictate what you accomplish in life, and what you accomplish in life would dictate your happiness. Well, you get my point. This entire process, for good and for bad, happens subconsciously. All of these beliefs are formed very early in life, and that can explain why so many athletes believe that they cannot make mistakes. Whenever you made a mistake, your coach or parent got mad with you, you started to avoid that situation. With that, you feel good about yourself, because the more you avoided mistakes, the more you avoided feeling bad about yourself. So you form the belief of, I cannot make mistakes, and if I make, I won't succeed.
I scored not a free throw, nothing, not a lucky shot, not a breakaway layup, 0 points. And I remember crying about it and being upset about it. And my father just gave me a hug and said, listen, whether you score 0 or score 60, I'm gonna love you no matter what.
Wow.
Now that is the most important thing that you can say to a child. Because from there, I was like, okay, that gives me all the confidence in the world to fail.
The most important quick tip that I can give you for now is start paying attention to what are the thoughts that come to you whenever you experience some negative emotions. So whenever you are feeling insecure, whenever you're feeling anxious, afraid, take a time to stop and think about what are the thoughts that are coming to you. Those thoughts, they are revealing you what are the beliefs that you have. So if you have too many thoughts of what will people think about me, or what happens if I fail, they're showing you what is the belief that is controlling those thoughts. So it's very important that you pay attention to those things and have a clear sequence. What are the thoughts? What are the emotions? What's the behavior? And once you have that clear, you start creating a more positive one. So what are the thoughts that I should have, that I should bring forth to myself to feel a specific emotion, to feel confident, to feel focused, to feel motivated? And what's the behavior I want to have with that? I want to continue playing well. I want to move on. I want to feel in the zone of flow. So that's the most important thing. Have clarity on the processes that happens on your mind so you can start creating more positive ones. Thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Take notes on that, have that clear, and rehearse a more positive one. This is very powerful and can help you tremendously to start developing a better performance. And in fact, this is the topic of the next module of the Athlete Mentality Academy. So if you want to know more about it, if you want to apply more of these into your game, develop the right beliefs that will allow you to feel more confident and motivated, check the first link in the description and join the Athlete Mentality Academy today. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that all of this content makes sense to you, that you can apply that. Leave me your feedback on the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I see you soon.